Hey everybody, welcome to another Router 2 brief video. Today I'm going to talk about how to keep your sump clean and why you should. In order to keep a really good saltwater aquarium, I think one of the most important words would be cleanliness. Your saltwater aquarium is nothing more than a really nice looking toilet. When you feed your fish, if you overfeed them, the food gets between the rocks and the crevices and all that, and it rots, okay? And it decays, breaks down, really bad for the water, bad for your corals over time, bad for your fish over time. Your fish, they urinate, they go number 2 in your aquarium, and that breaks down, and that's not good. Very important, especially for saltwater aquarium keepers who are new to the saltwater aquarium hobby. So I've got a lot of videos talking about how to keep your tank clean and what you want to do. You want to have good flow with your power heads in your aquarium, but this video has to do with your sump. We're all trying to keep our aquarium clean by siphoning out once a week. You should be once a week doing a water change, siphoning out the uneaten food and fish waste so it doesn't get a chance to break down in your water. Now, if you're using sump socks in your sump to catch everything that goes through the water column, uneaten food and fish waste, you should be washing those out at least every 3 days. You have to be on top of it, okay? You don't wait until they overflow, okay? And I'm getting to the point here. I don't use sump socks. I use floss, filter floss, and I remove it every 2 days, put new floss in, all right? It catches the bad stuff. You get it out of your tank by throwing it in the trash. Well, we're so busy doing all these things and a protein skimmer and cleaning it and maintaining it. We're so busy doing all these things that we forget that things are collecting in your sump. Things do get past your filter floss and they do go through your filter sock and they do collect at the bottom of your sump. A lot of us, including me, do not take our sump out to clean it. So in this video, I'm going to show you what I'm doing today to make the maintenance even better. You put a power head in your sump. Not a crazy power head, something small. Doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be on a timer. You could do that if you want. You could get a cheap $20, $25 power head, put it in the corner of your sump, let it blow around. It is a combination of fish waste and uneaten food, and it's just sitting there, decaying. So while we're being proactive, siphoning our tank, weekly water change, doing all these things, blowing out the rock with a turkey baster or a power head to make sure that uneaten food gets blown out into the water column so it can go through your filtration in the sump below, we're disregarding the sump, and the stuff is rotting. So if you have a power head that's blowing that stuff around constantly, what are you doing? You're putting it back into the water column. It'll get picked up by the protein skimmer in the sump. The rest will be put out through the return pump into your tank, and the corals can eat that stuff, and it's good for your other little tiny microscopic critters along with bacteria to feed off of. But ultimately, it's going to get put back in your sump and filtered out through the mechanical filtration. Keep that stuff suspended. Bottom line, don't let anything just sit anywhere and rot. You all know how important it is to have good flow in your aquarium. You don't want to have dead spots where there's no flow. In the corners of your aquarium especially, that's where the stuff collects. Think about it. It blows around your aquarium, hits the corner wall, settles, and it just kind of maybe spirals and gets trapped in the corner and it settles into the sand. You should be extra aware when you're siphoning your aquarium for a weekly water change to siphon those corners. That's where a lot of the fish waste and uneaten food settles and goes into the sand. So just like having good flow in your saltwater aquarium, you want to have some kind of flow in your sump, because it hit me. I'm like, all that stuff is just sitting there, decaying in the bottom of the sump. Sometimes you can't reach in to vacuum it to do a water change from your sump. Alright everybody, here's a quick tour of the sump of what's going on. I've got the 2 overflows, 1 and 2, going into the sump. That water is met with filter floss that gets taken out every 2 days and replaced with new filter floss. Okay, then you see at the bottom here we've got some sediment that escapes the filter floss, goes into this chamber here with the protein skimmer. I've got some sea lettuce for a mini refugium. This is my refugium light. It's awesome. Links in the video description of everything I use. Look at all that stuff down there on the ground. Yes, sir, maybe some of it is sand. A lot of it is what's collecting uneaten food and fish waste. There's not much in the third chamber at all. I have a bag of carbon in there. Protein skimmer is half full. Gotta empty that guy out. And I've got one really powerful return pump that goes back to the tank that feeds both sides. So what I'm gonna put in the sump is J-Bow powerhead. Little guy, powerful. Yes, it is programmable. I don't like all these cords, so I may pick up a cheaper powerhead. But the reason why I'm using this is because I have this. You know, a regular powerhead will be just fine. Alright, I just turned it on. It's kind of a pain getting back there. It's on the back wall. You can see it. It fit just under the protein skimmer stand riser that I have. Look, it's on the lowest setting. It's turning around pretty good. It's already cleaned out, and there's not much on the bottom there. Okay, if I turn up the speed right now, it's just on 1. Go to 4 speed. Now it's really moving things around. I think I'm going to keep it on that, and it's kind of helping out over here as well. Okay, good idea. Are you guys doing this now? You know what I'm going to be doing too? I'm going to get some egg crate, and I'm going to put some, not filter floss, but foam. So it filters this, and I'll just change out that foam, you know, once every week or whatever when I do a weekly water change. Just so we get some polishing of the water before it goes back into the final chamber into the aquarium. Now, as you can see, this is a little foggy because this stuff is blowing around now and it's being taken back into the tank here. Again, that's totally fine. This will calm down in about half an hour. This stuff's going to get blown out of here. Remember, there was a decent amount of stuff down here, so it's going to be put back into the tank. No big deal. It's just going to siphon through the tank, come back down, get caught by the filter floss, and the bottom line is the sump will be cleaner, much better already. It's on a 4-speed. I have a link to all this stuff in the video description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.